Good day, folks, and welcome to review number 73. Well, it's been a long wait, but after a year on pre-order, this guy's finally here. Today we're going to take a look at the Hot Toys Sideshow exclusive Iron Man Mark VII. So, starting off looking at the packaging, we see that Iron Man comes packaged in a box packaging with an outer sleeve on it. The outer sleeve has this large image of the Iron Man Mark VII armor on it, as well as the Avengers logo down in the lower right corner. And because this is a Sideshow exclusive, it has the Sideshow exclusive logo here on the left. Once you remove the sleeve, you'll find that the inner box features a nice large clear window in the front of it to show off the figure and the multiple accessories. You have several of the different hands on either side. You've got the Tony Stark head up there in the upper right hand corner, and you have the Sideshow exclusive piece, this clear green plastic little figure up here in the left. Moving deeper into the packaging, just like to point out the multiple levels of trays inside here. There's at least 4 different layers of plastic in here, protecting the figure and all the different accessories. Because I mean, you've got accessories stacked on accessories stacked on accessories in this thing. So there is quite a bit of plastic trays in here, and they're nice, solid plastic trays too. They're not real flimsy, so as long as you don't rip them apart as you're trying to open the figure, they should last you quite a while to protect the figure. So here we have the Iron Man figure itself, and as with my other Hot Toys figure, it doesn't disappoint. This thing is big. It's shiny. It just looks fantastic. So yeah, I've been an Iron Man fan for a long time, and this is my first Hot Toys Iron Man figure. So I am very pleased to have this guy in my collection, and he just looks fantastic. So, but yeah, on to articulation. You've got full neck articulation there with double ball joints. You've got ball jointed shoulders. You've got almost a full elbow range there. There's one issue though. There's kind of a rubber sleeve around here, which I'll discuss a little bit more in a bit. But that kind of hinders it a little bit. You've got ball jointed wrist. You've got ab crunch, waist swivel there, which is kind of hindered by the armor. Then you've got fully ball jointed hips there, double jointed knees. Then you have multi-jointed foot and toe. So yeah, articulation wise, this guy's right up there. Now another cool feature that, if I understand, is new with the Mark VII are the ability for all of these flaps to actually move. They're part of the figure itself rather than accessory pieces that you plug in. So you get a little bit more flexibility. You can pose those flaps in any position you want. And the other thing is his head here. My other understanding is that the other figures couldn't actually get an up-looking stance. I know that's the case with my War Machine. So if you wanted to get a stand to pose the figure in a flying pose, you couldn't get him actually looking forward as he was flying. So that's another improvement with this figure. So one of the coolest features of a Hot Toys Iron Man figure is the Light Up Gimmick, and this figure's no exception with it. Some of the switches are placed a little differently than my War Machine. The light for the eyes is actually located behind the faceplate. So you have to take the faceplate off to turn that light on. The lights for the hands, the switches are located on the inner part of the upper arm, and then for the arc reactor, it's located on his back underneath one of the flaps here. But once you get them all on, you have a nice, fully lit up Iron Man. Now, I do have one big concern with this figure over time, and that's this little rubber piece they put in the elbow here. I know my War Machine doesn't have that piece, so I don't know if the other Iron Man figures have it as well. But my experience, anytime you get a rubberized piece, is that as that piece ages, whether it's natural rubber, silicone rubber, as it ages, it tends to, it's not really dry out, but it does tend to deteriorate and eventually crack. And given that this is meant to flex in the elbow joint, I think it's just going to accelerate that process. So it would be something to watch over time to see how these little sleeves over the elbow last. It may be something that they regret doing later on, but we'll have to see. Right now, it's not a big problem, although it does hinder elbow movement a little bit. So I'm guessing they just put that in there to try to hide the joint a little better. Although I think, at least with my War Machine figure, I'm happy with the way it turned out. I don't think it was really necessary, but we'll see how it goes. Of course, no modern day action figure would be complete unless you had just an absolute ton of accessories here. So we're going to take a few minutes here, go through some of these different accessories and see what works and what doesn't, although I think most of these work pretty good. But let's look at some of these in a little bit more detail. One of the biggest sets of accessories with this figure are the battle-damaged pieces. You have a battle-damaged faceplate up here. You have a battle-damaged chest plate. You've got some weapons deployed pieces with the laser weapons deployed, the anti-aircraft pieces. They actually remove the entire shoulder piece and one of the flaps on the back and replace that entire piece so that you can display the weapons deployed there. You've got the extra armor pieces that go on the legs here. And then this is actually kind of neat. You replace his entire arms for the battle damaged look on his arms and for his laser being deployed. So you can really change up and customize the look of the figure with these additional armor bits. The Mark VII comes with 3 sets of hands. You have the splayed open hands, which I have on the figure right now. Then you also have the fists, and then you have the poseable hands that actually have jointed fingers. You also have a couple different wrist guards, one for the hand flexed out and then one flat. Probably the coolest accessory to come with this piece is the Robert Downey Jr. head that you can put on the figure, so it gives you an unhelmeted head. I'm not going to be displaying this with the armor much. I did get a blank body, and I can't remember which company made it now. I'd have to look it up, but there was a third-party company that made the T-shirt and outfit that he was wearing while on the hover carrier in the Avengers, while he was working with Dr. Banner. So I'm going to put him in that outfit, and I will have my Avengers Tony Stark that I can stand next to my armor, thanks to having this cool little head that came with it. Now, this being the Sideshow exclusive does come with an exclusive accessory, and it's this little green clear plastic version of the Mark VII. It's meant to be kind of the hologram that Tony would use if he was analyzing it. Personally, this accessory is completely useless to me. The only reason I went for the exclusive version is because I had heard in the past that the exclusives tend to show up just a little earlier, and since they were the same price from Sideshow, I just went ahead and went for the exclusive version. I'll probably find some place to display this guy separately, but he probably won't end up being displayed with either my Mark VII or my Tony Stark figure.
The Hot Toys Iron Man Mark VII is a beautiful figure. The paint job on it looks absolutely amazing, and Hot Toys has paid a lot of attention to the little details on the armor. The only thing that I can really fault them for with this figure is posability. Since some of the leg and waist articulation is restricted, I've been unable to get the Mark VII in that classic Iron Man kneeling pose. Now, this was a bit of a downer, but the figure looks so good otherwise, I can forgive Hot Toys for this one little oversight. But if you want this figure, I really hope you already have him on pre-order though. Most pre-orders I've seen are already sold out at the online retailers, and I have a suspicion that the price for this guy on the aftermarket is going to be horrendous. I'm glad I got mine for retail price, and believe me, it was worth every penny.